Hello students, welcome to today's session. Today in this session we will going to discuss about real-time operating system. Then what are characteristics of real-time operating system? What is need for real-time operating system? Then the scheduling of real-time task. Okay, in such type of OS, the needs features and what are the current commercial real-time operating system. Okay, real-time operating system in short form we call it as RTOS. Now, when we call a system as real-time, if it completes the required work and required services within the given time, okay, then it is a real-time OS. Okay, students. So there are two different types of real-time operating system. First is hard real-time system and another is soft real-time system. Okay. So what are the criteria? In hard time, breaking the limit is always seen as fundamental failure. Okay. See, like flight control system, there is no evenness in the flight. Okay. Like there can be changes at any moment. Okay, due to weather conditions the flight time can be delayed, uh, or a nuclear power plant controller. Okay, we also have some uneven conditions in there also. Okay, then soft real time system, breaking the time limit is unwanted. Okay, but not immediately critical. Okay, see, like soft real-time system, the time condition is of very importance. The limit is obeyed, but it is not immediately critical. Like if sometimes that excess time is needed, it is acceptable. Okay, not necessary that we everything should be finished in more time. Okay. So examples of soft real-time systems are like a website and services, and other examples include satellite-based applications. Then comes firm real-time operating system. Okay, so in firm real-time operating system, the examples include video conferencing and satellite-based tracking of enemy movement. Okay, like we have radar. Okay, it is also firmly based real-time system. Okay, deadline is missed occasionally, system does not fail. The result produced by task after the deadlines are rejected. Okay. See, occasionally means once in a while if the target is lost, okay, it is acceptable. Okay. It is machine error that means once in thousand times if it goes wrong, it is acceptable. Okay. But if the results are received after the time deadline, the results are rejected. Okay, so we have the plot of utility versus time for firm or real-time operating system. Okay, now let's see the block diagram of real-time OS. Okay, so first is applications, then real-time applications. Out of the applications, it is subdivided into real-time and non-real-time. Okay, so real-time applications have some RT extension. Okay, real-time extension in the inbuilt hardware. Okay, so students, this is devised to give means to respond instantly. Okay, means whatever the instant actions are needed, it is devised for that. Okay, now we will see some different constraints of real-time operating system. Okay, so first is time constraint. Okay, on basis of that we divide it into hard, soft and firm. Then correctness criterion. Okay, like how appropriate result we get. Okay, on this correctness criteria it we can define the reliability of an RTOS. Okay, safety critically. Okay, safety and reliability, that is the thing. Then task criticality. Okay, criticality means occurrence. Okay, like task criticality means cost of failure of task. Okay, means how critical the situation would be if the task gets failed. Okay, means what amount of cost the system has to bear on case of failure. Okay, then custom hardware, then reactivity, stability, and exception handling. These are different characteristics of real-time operating systems. Okay, students. Now, as we saw in the architecture of real-time operating system, it was our real-time extensions. Okay, so extensions of operating system by real-time components. It depends on cooperation between real-time and non-real-time parts. Okay, so the different extensions include RT Linux, Solaris. Okay, then Windows NT and all. So what are the advantages of such extensions? It is its rich functionality. Okay, disadvantages include computing and memory resources. Now let's see the components of real-time operating systems. Okay, so first is process management, then memory management, interrupt service management, input output management, then hardware abstraction layer management. Okay, development environments, board supports packages. Okay, so first we'll begin with process task management. Okay, so scheduling of task is major deal for every operating system. Okay, so we have scheduler over here. Then we will discuss about synchronization management. Okay, like switching between two tasks, two process, how it does, semaphores and all. Okay, so scheduling of task is the primary that by which the operating system meets task deadlines. Okay, so students, scheduling of task. Okay, like means what is date? Different tasks have different deadlines. Okay, so the more prioritized task is scheduled first. Okay, now lot of work has to be done on appropriate schedulers for real-time tasks, like scheduling on uniprocessors. Okay, if there is only single processor, on multiprocessors and distributed system. Okay, like multiple processors are there and there are, it is distributed system. Okay, so which task to schedule, which task is to be scheduled on which system. Okay, so it is a quite it is a quite difficult challenge. Okay, so how we do it? We do it in different fashion, like clock driven, that is cyclic manner, or table driven. Okay, then on event driven basis and hybrid basis. Event driven can be simple priority first. Okay, then RMA, rate monotonic analysis, and earliest deadline first. Okay, EDF. So earliest deadline first means the task which is to be which is having very less time period for completion. It is selected and scheduled first. Okay, similar is for round robin. Okay, like means every task it follows a loop. Okay, and every the loop is completed according to the chance of every task. Now let's see one by one. Clock driven scheduling. Okay, In that clock driven, let's see table driven. Okay, decision regarding which job to run is made at specific time instant. Okay, timers are used to trigger the decision point, and job list along with the information regarding which task to be run and how long are to be stored in the table. Okay, so students, like task switching, it is decided at different time intervals. Okay, see there, this is there are four tasks: T1, T2, T3, T4. Okay, and start time is there and stop time is there. Okay, so scheduler develops a permanent schedule for a period P1, P2, P3, and Pn and stores in a table. Okay, clock driven schedules, what are advantages of it? Let's see. So clock driven schedules are simple, efficient, and inflexible. Okay, so simple because it can be used in low cost applications. Efficient because very low runtime is needed. Okay, inflexible means it is very modifiable. Okay, means it can accommodate in every dynamically changing task set or task characteristics. Okay, students. Then priority based schedulers. Okay, so on basis of priority, like on the earliest deadline first and just like that, we can schedule the task and jobs. Okay, scheduling decisions are made when events occur, task become ready, and task completing execution. Okay, like if one task is completed its execution. Okay, so the scheduling decisions are made, like which next task to be added in the loop and all. Okay, so these are called preemptive schedulers. Okay, when high priority task becomes ready, it preempts the executing low priority task. Okay, like high priority task will select next low priority task and it will be added in the loop. Okay, of completion of task. They never keep the processor idle if task is ready. Okay, if task is ready, it is subjected for execution. Static priority scheduler and dynamic priority scheduler. Okay, so for this, task priorities assigned by programmers do not change during the runtime. Okay, so RMA, like that is the rate monotonic algorithm. This is the example of static priority. And dynamic priority algorithm, dynamic priority based scheduling, it is example for that is EDF, earliest deadline first. Okay, task priorities can change during runtime based on relative urgency of completion of task. So for this, we will consider one example. Okay, it is a if there is uniprocessor in consideration and there are independent tasks and tasks do not share any resources. Okay, also there is no precedence ordering among the tasks. Okay, so how we can do the scheduling? Okay, we can do the scheduling on basis of two ways. Okay, that is EDF, that is earliest deadline first, and RMA, rate monotonic analysis. So how we can apply EDF? Okay, let's see. EDF is optimal uniprocessing scheduling algorithm. Okay, if EDF means it can schedule both periodic and aperiodic tasks. Okay, optimal means it requires less runtime and resources requirement is very less. Okay, so that's why we call it as optimal. So advantages of it is simple and optimal. Okay, then no commercially available operating system supports EDF scheduling. These are limitations. Okay, like it is not practically available very easily. Okay, some other disadvantages or limitations of EDF include it has very poor and overload handling capability. Okay, and when very low criticality task becomes delayed, it can become most critical tasks. Okay, see, if very low criticality, okay, task is delayed. Okay, so it can become very most critical task. Okay, if the deadline is missed. Okay, students, because a low criticality task, if it is it will be neglected by EDF every time. Okay, because it may not have the deadline first. Okay, in EDF we always do the task of with shortest deadline. Okay, so it will be kept always neglected and it becomes more critical task after a period of time. Then it is difficult to predict which task would miss deadline when the tasks makes takes more time. Okay, so see, we are judging the task on basis of deadlines. Okay, so it is becoming practically very much difficult to predict which task will miss the deadline. Okay, if the task is taking more time. Okay, suppose if there are three tasks, task A, task B and task C. Task A is taking more time for execution, and at the same time, task B is having the deadline time. It starts the deadline time while the execution time of task A. Okay, so it becomes quite difficult for the scheduler. Okay, it cannot start the task B until task A is totally executed. Okay, so this is disadvantage of EDF. Okay, then runtime efficiency, it is not very efficient. Okay, the tasks need to be sorted in priority queue based on their deadline. Okay, like in ascending order of their deadline. Now let's see another type, that is rate monotonic algorithm. Okay, priority and rate. Okay, so there is exponential relation, like it is slope, it is passing through origin. So priority of task is proportional to rate of occurrence. Okay, higher the rate of task, higher is the priority, like that. So students, this is optimal uniprocessor static priority scheduling algorithm. Okay, always remember. So students, this was all about RMA and EDF. Okay, we will cover the remaining part of real-time operating system in the next session. Thank you.